And we are good to go.
You say when. Trying to break this down.
Okay, let me get to where you are. Okay. Ready? 3.
Not yet. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Alright. Should be good whenever you're ready.
3, 2, 1, start. Okay, now where was I? I know I was in the Grand Village. Do I have bombs yet? I don't think I have bombs. Ah, dang it, that's what I forgot to do.
Yeah, I found bombs last time we played.
Yes, you did. You have beautiful bombs. Okay, I forgot to mark everything I have. I think I have one of these. That song, that medallion, and the shield, of course. And the hover boots. Can't forget the hover boots. There we go. Oh, my brain is going blank. Still need to get the sword. I think I did most. Do I have? I don't think I have that. No, I don't have that.
Actually, I know where I need to go. I went the wrong way.
And I don't have the slingshot. Okay, I'm gonna risk it. Let's just get the advantage of opening up this path. There we go. I know I was in here before.
Mm-hmm.
See, you get the advantage. You don't have to remember
How's
two
that?
different storylines.
Oh, you already became an adult?
Oh no. I have the other game I'm playing.
Yeah, well, whose fault's that?
So mine's like, okay, what do I not have here? What do I have here? What have I opened up? What haven't I opened up?
Oh boy. Yeah, that's not good.
Okay, let's see. I believe this gave me nothing. I believe I did this already and it gave me nothing. But we'll see. Whew. Somebody's in the comments gonna be like, why didn't you do that beforehand? Well, I like playing Life on the Edge. Again, Life on the Edge.
Mm-hmm. No, why me?
Okay, another heart piece down the pike.
For you.
Money. Scorchula. I think that is just yeah. Whenever I get Scorchulas, it says I got the Sun Song, which is not true.
Nah, you got the Sun Song multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
One of them.
Hey, it's better than... I've done some randomized games where I wouldn't get the Sun Song, okay? But what I would get is... Or what I would have to go through is like one of the longest dialogue sequences in the game every time I got a Scorchula. I'm like, really?
That's why I was kind of on the fence on even doing it, because it's just it could take up so much time.
It only takes up time if you make it take up time. Did I open this up? I don't know if I did or not. Yes, I did. Okay, so if I open that up, did I get the thing above it? It's a key. I can hold off on collecting that key. Even though I'm gonna forget all about that key, and I'm gonna need it, but. Okay.
I could come over here real quick and do this over here.
Is that what I think we found? Yes, it is. Awesome. Found the Hylian shield.
Nice.
Did I already open up this path? Yes, I did. Great. Because I need money.
I found Skull Mask, I think. We confirm.
Again, the only time it wouldn't be the item it actually shows is if it's ice. I should grab one of these hearts.
Oh, I learned a song, I think.
The Skull Mask should not be the song, since song icons do have icons. Okay, now that
Well, in the dialogue it said Skull Mask, but it had a song symbol.
Oh, then you learned a song.
So then I got a song.
What in the... Well, that was a waste. I only have so many of those that I can use up. Okay. Now we're gonna test to see if... See what I can buy in here of value. Yes, I can. Well, that was all the rupees I just collected. But hey, at least we got 10 more options now to blow up things.
And that's right, we removed extra rupees out of all of the stuff, right? Those have been replaced with ice.
Yes. I believe we're on the most... I don't know if we're on the most severe, but yeah, a majority of the rupees are removed. And replaced with the dangers of ice.
See, I can't remember if it was all rupees. I didn't know if the 100 rupee ones were still in effect, or if it's all rupees are on out ice.
I'm almost certain it's all rupees.
Don't eat me! Don't eat me! Ah! Get in the hole! Get in the hole!
So, let's do that. Now that we got that, let's go back there. We can get quite a bit with just rupees alone. Now, yes, it's gonna suck to do this traveling back and forth for now, but we can make a lot of progress.
I'm gonna die! I don't want to die.
You don't want to die? I want you to die.
It's cold as ice. I think it's funny the ranch song is my danger song.
Is it the ranch race
pretty
song
neat.
or the ranch?
It's just the ranch standard song.
Oh, I thought it would be really funny if it was the race song.
Oh, what's pretty neat is anytime I go into like the underground caverns, they end up playing the they play the bomb game music.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's pretty funny. It's like a game show, and I open up a chest like, here's something I have. Now you can confirm the scarecrow thing works automatically, right? Like I don't have to engage conversation with them.
Yes, I'm almost certain we enabled that, but
No,
there
we
is
enabled
a
it. I don't know how it efficiently works every single time.
Yes,
There's
it
never
does.
will be an issue.
I did
Okay.
use it. I don't think it was on one of my streamed ones, but I did use it. There is a condition though.
What's
Okay,
that?
you have to have the ocarina.
Okay, I'm good with that. I just wanted to know if it like 150% worked, where I'm not going to be sitting there like I have to talk to them.
No, it will work. You just have to have the ocarina, and basically, as soon as you pour it out, it will progress.
Okay,
Now,
it's good to know.
I can go through here. I think it's this way. Yeah. What do you have for sale?
That's a wasted song for here. That kind of sucks.
Uh-oh. Scary, 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 scary.
You know the next shortcut they could create for this game? So we speed it up a little bit.
Ooh, another heart piece. Nice.
Nice. Oh, come on.
What could they do?
They could make the fishing sequence a little bit faster. Like as soon as you throw the reel in, you immediately
I think
get
there is a
spit or
way
whatever,
you
maybe.
can make it skip it. Or make it not required. I'm almost certain there's a way we can skip it or make it not required. I'm just not sure which of which.
This is one of those that could be nice if the sequence was just a little faster.
Okay, one of these two have money. I don't recall which. We're just gonna bypass it. And go right here.
Come
Oh,
on,
I'm
you
so
stupid fish.
good.
Come on!
Okay.
I'm a bad fish.
There we go. There we go. Treasure chest. Another heart piece.
Someone's having a bunch of luck over there.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll have I'll have like no risk of dying for the next few sections of this game.
That is true.
Wait, if you're in the fishing game, that means you have the sword.
No? You don't need the sword.
Oh, did we turn that off?
I don't know.
I don't know.
All I know is I wanted to get it out of the way while I was here.
I wish I had the ocarina, bud, but I don't.
Come on. Right there. Come on. Here. Yippee-ki-yay! Huh. Huh. My dialogue when I catch the fish is, you want to buy? Do you go nuts for 5 rupees?
That dude always trying to sell something.
Woohoo! Got a piece, I think.
Again, if
I
it
got
shows an item, it's what you got.
I'm glad the fisherman's dialogue doesn't get randomized.
It can.
I'm glad I didn't.
What, you don't have all those choices memorized? Okay, what do we want to do next? Here. I think we're gonna... I don't know what we're gonna do next, guys. I guess we could do that. Did we already do that?
Yes, you can always do that.
It's gonna be so hard though.
You could always do that. Yeah. Ah. Alright, I need you to fly back, buddy.
We could do that.
No, don't touch me, please! God, don't touch me, please! Leave!
Even though I don't like doing that until
Go
I
to
can
your house.
do all of it, but...
There he goes!
Okay, let's get on 99 rupees real quick.
You'll get your 99 rupees.
Hey, I unlocked the quick way, so...
Ow.
I don't know if there's a quicker way. I think this is the quickest way I know of to get...
Oh god. Oh
Lots of
boy.
rupees
That's
quick.
stupid controller. Oh god, come on.
Did you just take a
Please.
hit to the face?
No, it made me waste a bomb at you. It decided it wanted to use my other C button, and it's like, yeah, you go.
We never got the weird egg either, so that farm isn't open.
Ooh.
But they're open on it, so let's try to do that.
And that was expensive. I don't know if I like that.
Did you just pay 300 rupees to get a 200 rupee?
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. I was about... Dang it. It took me a lot of rupees to go fishing. I don't think it took that many.
Should be like 10.
It's like 30.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Nope, not enough yet. Hmm.
I know what I need to do, and I kind of wasted a little bit of time, but I should still have enough time to get it done.
We're gonna go there and see what they have. What? He's blue, LO. Yes, he is randomized to be blue. I believe, no, both of us aren't blue, but mine is.
And yours is. Yeah.
Mine's blue.
Away we go. Here we go, Billy.
I'm not. It's so hard to remember everything I've done. I'm not sure if we've done everything here yet or not.
I got enough now. I should be good. That's the reason why I made sure I checkpointed myself properly when we quit. So I'm like, I got everything done there.
Well, I know roughly everything I've gotten done. The thing I don't know is like the minor things. Like, have I got all the Scorchulas in this area yet? Which the answer is
I haven't done
no.
no Scorchula hunting yet, I don't think. I think I got like 2 or 3 in like the main village. But that's I'm avoiding doing all that until I have like the boomerang early. But coincidental, you don't get the boomerang until you get 50 Scorchulas. Like that'll probably end up happening.
That would be cool.
Or until I get the hook shot or something, where I know I can actually get all of them.
Boomerang.
Well, before I start Scorchula hunting, because like I said, I don't want to be in that situation like you where I start contemplating, did I forget any?
Well, I think that's just natural in the randomized state. Unless you're playing it all the way through without stop. Ooh, got a song. Got a semi-expensive song.
What song did you
Epona
get?
song.
I got a Epona song too. I know which song you got. I think I know where you got it. I have it too. I have Epona song, I think Nocturnal Shadow, and then I got the Desert song.
Slingshot. Awesome.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, you're where I was. Yeah, you're in that. You finally went to that one hole. I think you hit the bomb bag too there. I think.
The bomb bag.
Uh,
The black one's a future predictor.
That really sucks that you remember that hole because that could have been the one edge I could have had on you. I was like, yep, I would know where the bomb bag is at. Or in theory, if you found another bomb bag where that would have essentially been your first bomb bag, it wouldn't have hurt anything, of course.
Yeah.
That bomb bag makes such a big difference already.
I don't know if it does. I haven't found many. Well, you get bombs naturally
Well, now you can go
as
to
well.
do all the Zora stuff now. Or you can go get like 2 or 3 chests in that area. They'll probably end up being ice, but you know. Don't touch me. Fly away home. Ah!
Come on. There you go. Yeah, I think I already got everything here.
This is how we do it.
Yep, okay, I don't know.
Inside of this hole.
I don't know how I would have gotten... I must have not had money. I must have not opened up my cash reserves yet.
Oh my god, are you serious?
I don't know. Depends. Did you die?
It could be bad. No.
Oh, then I'm not serious.
Ah, that's bad.
Now, if you died, I would be serious, but you chose to live.
I unfortunately must live.
That was a weird sound effect. I wonder if that's Navi's sound. I heard a rooster crow. But if I remember right, I think that might be just Navi.
Oh, this could be bad. Please give me what I need. Please give me what I need. Yeah, I got what I need. It only cost me 2 bombs, but I got what I need.
And that's all that matters in the end. If you got what you need.
For the grace of God, please be what I need, because if this is what I need, I'm going to be so mad. Well, not really. I'm actually within that time frame where it's not going to be that bad.
Oh yeah, we're still pretty early in this run before we can start saying who's in the lead and who isn't.
Don't touch me! No, God!
I'm guessing it touched you?
No, I almost jumped into the lake to be swallowed alive by... It was, I can't even think of what they're called. Yeah, Dooku shrubs that are in the water. I gotta get their names. I'm ashamed.
I'm gonna need sticks. This is gonna be a very boring montage right now. I'm about to do stick hunting.
Oh my God. What?
It's still gonna be a very boring montage. I'm sorry, guys. There's
Oh my God.
no way I'm gonna get around
Good God.
being
Carry me, please.
entertaining.
Take me with you. I want to go home. Man, this is a great run for me. I've had to backtrack twice now. Not even intentionally.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things where it keeps saying you need more rupees. I'm like, okay, I thought we turned that thing on. We weren't gonna have this issue.
What do you mean?
Nothing.
What?
I'm not telling you. It's a secret.
I mean, you.
That should be enough now. It can't be more than 50.
No, all of it can be 99.
Oh, that's right. We did have that set up that way, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
All of it can be
Okay.
99.
For the love of God, please.
It's,
Let me get this
it's
roll on this try,
randomly
please.
chosen between 0 and 99.
Ah. I can't remember if we did that one or if we did it where it was always going to be like 5 rupees. Sitting here like, hurry.
And of course, I'm
God,
guessing you're talking about like the shrubs, right? Or you're talking about the random stuff in the store?
That and the shrubs and everything else.
Yeah, I think it's 99 is the max.
Boy, how about that explains the reason why I have no rupees after talking to 2 of them.
Okay, so now we just need to get sticks. Which again, sadly, it's going to be a very boring montage of me running from one end to the other to regen sticks every now and then. But we'll have 10 sticks. I think we have 10 sticks currently in our categories.
Round and round.
Because I'm pretty sure we can't kill it with slingshots alone. I'm almost certain we can't kill it.
Kill a fire scarecrow.
Well, the thing is I don't think I've ever killed this thing with slingshots. I don't think I've ever, or Ripsy, I don't think I've ever killed this thing with without using the Master Sword. Or the Kuriki sword.
What are you fighting, the spider or something?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Secrets for me to know and you never to find out.
All I gotta do is just play a stream up on my phone button. I was trying to be nice about it.
All you're gonna do is watch me collect sticks.
It'll be a good stick time, huh? Won't hurt my feelings one bit.
It might stick you to the screen.
Lord, I wouldn't want to watch it branch off.
As long as I at least have a limb to stand on.
I don't have any more stick puns. Good for you.
Hello, Jaden.
I'll leave you to it.
Is leaf really a stick pun?
I don't know, man. I just know that they're related, I guess.
I guess I'll accept it because I'm turning over a new leaf.
Yeah. Yeah. God, they just don't stop.
I'm waiting to watch my viewer
Please
count
don't
just
touch me.
drop.
Please don't touch me. Please don't touch me. Please don't touch me.
Okay.
Oh God. Okay. Don't touch me. I don't want to go. I don't want to leave.
Now, health-wise, I think I only need 3 sticks. I just don't know how many sticks I'm gonna need to get to it.
I said my gut tells me you're doing the spider, but I'm not too sure.
But how would I have gotten to the spiral?
You need sticks to get to the spider.
No, I need a sword to get to the spiral.
No, you don't.
Is it open?
It should be.
Did we open it? Yeah, we did. Yeah. Well, thank you for telling me what next to do.
I got a nice thing to get. Okay, I can actually. We need to fly. There's nothing here, I don't think. Right? I think I can fly back now. I think I did everything here.
No, not everything.
Take me with you, big bird.
You got a couple of tempers to do.
I gotta get the bottle still, which I can't get yet. I can get the one on top of the chest on the heart piece on top of the house. I can't get yet. Those are the only things I can't get right now.
Okay.
I can't get that until you're an adult, anyways.
Before we make the adventure down south, let's save it. And let's also get some more hearts.
I did forget to save. I needed to save because I'm in the same boat where if I lose progress, oh my God, man! I get this controller sometimes, man. Because there's like precision. It's not precision.
Oh, I never entered here. This is gonna be a lot of new things I can get.
My name's Lugnon. I have all the stuff I can get.
And it's the Master Quest version, so that means I can speedrun this dungeon. Somewhat.
Speedrun! Sound off your air horn. Give me that money!
But it also means I'm gonna run out of bombs before.
Just gonna half-ass that jump, Link. It's so dark outside, oh no, I'm running out of time! I'm running out of time!
We got some magic!
Yep, I got the map. Oh, so you're... okay.
I have no clue where you are.
Unless you got another magic bill up.
I got the winds.
Hurry.
I got fair on the wind.
I got one, but it's okay. That's all I need.
Do you have
Pay me
fair
more
on
than
the
99
wind?
rupees for the next buyout. Alright, so I did that, I did that.
I think I am.
I did that. Did that.
I want to say that's just a chest.
Got the sling chest, so technically I can get all of them. I'm gonna see if I can get Dampy maybe, because I didn't get a chance to do Dampy yet.
Silver scale! Silver scale! I can get stuff!
I'm gonna win the race, Bark!
And another heart piece.
This is actually probably one of the easiest speedruns that we've actually done, though. So far, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't had too many issues.
Like, I mean, like, everything's been pretty stable. It's not like you're sitting there running around looking for, like, like the bomb bag. I mean, like, you know, where it's like, you've looked everywhere
and
for...
of course. Yep, I'm frozen.
Did you die? Please tell me you died.
No,
I need to catch you
I did worse. I froze. Which means I had to restart my system.
Oh, you froze.
Yeah.
Um,
Luckily, it started me right back in the cavern.
Yay, nice. Ah, the Dongo's cavern. Aha. This isn't good. I'm too early for Dampy.
That was weird.
Did I get all the Scotillas when I was here last time?
Let me talk to you first. Get that silver scale.
Already got that one. I think I got the one that's over here. I can't remember. Did I do that little loop-de-loop glitch over here? I think you had to be an adult. You had to be an adult to get it. Can't do it when you're a child. I turned Navi into a chicken. That's great.
It's okay. Guess
Chicken
what my
sound
Navi is?
The howl of the wolf.
Nope. Link screaming like he's falling down, dying.
That's funny.
Navi's just really scared.
Hello, Scotilla. Hello, meet Mr. Pop. Yeah. Boom shakalaka. And that's the game.
See if I can
Smart,
run through this real quick.
I got some hot containers.
But as we're running through it, I'm going to actually use this type instead of the other, just because it saves me the hassle possibly in the future.
Mm-hmm.
What do you give me? Ice! I really like that if you don't have hearts when you get ice from a salesperson, they'll drop hearts right after freezing you.
Yeah, I've done that too whenever I've talked to a Deku Shrub that's frozen me. They drop hearts immediately. I'm like, oh, they're nice.
It's like, oh, you help, but you hurt. Ow. Yeah, hit me, I don't care.
It's so unique how that jump is just the right amount of distance.
Right.
I got a
I
Gerudo key.
remember how this works. You have a what?
I got a Gerudo key.
Nice.
Training grounds key, I should probably specify.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm trying to avoid. Gain all the keys.
I can't remember. Did we randomize all those as well in the world?
Yeah.
If we can, yeah. Wait a few seconds. Wait a few seconds.
Okay.
Wait a few seconds. No, I didn't want to go in so soon. I don't like wasting time because I really want to get Dampy out of the way. Because once I get Dampy out of the way, then I can do one more thing, and then I can go run off and do that, and then I could do that, and then do that.
Okay.
And I could do that. And I could do that. I could do that.
Kill you. Collect hearts. Kill you.
Come on, you're not out yet?
I'm already running low on sticks, but hey. Ooh, that could have been bad. I don't recall how to open that. Oh, let's see.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Oh, that's how I open that. Okay. That made that easy. And before
The
we
moon
go...
is a good indicator of what time it is in game, right?
Yeah, the moon and the sun. They rotate in real time. Or game time, sorry.
Okay.
Oh, that sucks.
Okay.
This
You
sucks.
wasted a bomb. God, stop it. That bomb's wasted. Let's go!
Well,
Go,
that
let's go.
sucks.
What sucks?
I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it.
Not gonna say it? Okay. I
Let's
like
just
surprises.
say something. Well, that helps.
Does it overcome the shortcoming?
Yep, but it sets me back.
That's not good.
Why does it keep freezing?
Alright, why is Dampy not coming out to play?
I have no clue why it keeps freezing though.
Dampy comes out around midnight, right?
No, he comes early night.
So I went early. I went as soon as it turned to nighttime, and he wasn't out.
I know it's
And
early
then I'm like,
night.
okay, I'll wait till... And I was like, okay, I'll wait till midnight for him to come out, and he's not coming out.
We're gonna have to do that entire sequence again.
This could be a problem.
Can I? Does these? Yes. But they only work to get the bomb. Okay. I was like, pretty sure there was something up there.
That's already did Dampy. If you do Dampy once, he disappears forever. Right? Or does he still walk around and...
No, he still walks around.
Guess I'll go early when it turns nighttime again. Do I really want to waste a whole day cycle doing that, though? That's gonna be the ultimate question.
Oh yeah, this is what I need to do.
Decisions.
Only you can decide.
I guess I'll just stockpile rupees up there, I
Yep,
guess.
that was a waste.
Unfortunately,
Can
I
I
have like 15 minutes, so I guess that might be like perhaps the last thing I ultimately do before we have to get off.
No, we're already that close. Wow, we're already that close.
Yeah, 15 minutes. I'm gonna take a little bit of time, but I'm like, it's one of those gonna be careful. And well, like if you're doing like a dungeon or something, it'll be fine because you just go as far as you know you made it. In my case, being out here in the open world, it kind of
You have to stage
changes
yourself.
my game a little.
Nope. Can I? You know what I
giving me
really
wine.
don't need right now? Money.
What's that?
Money. I only have one heart left.
Good. Freeze. I'm sorry, that's like not a nice thing to say, but
And I died.
Oh, for good sport.
But now I know I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. I can literally just rush through.
I think I technically have one more box in Hyrule Field I can go fetch before nighttime, though, so that'll at least
Right.
complete that part for me.
Only because it's so close to the end of stream, I'm gonna not do that right now. And instead, confuse myself further. So when I come back to this game, I'm gonna be like, I have no clue what part of the dungeons I have or haven't done.
But I mean, you can. It only take you like a minute or two to get back to where you were, though.
Yes, but I won't have a clue on what parts I've done. Or we can open up this.
Here then.
I believe there's a switch over here, yep, because it lights up the file. And because we already got the bombs,
Ah, it's this one. Okay. Egg nab it.
do this.
There went 2 bombs to waste. Need the boomerang. Okay, how am I doing on the sun? We're halfway through the day. Hey!
Okay, so that's opened up now. Let's see, can we get anything more interesting right now?
What was that, chicken nabe?
Chicken nabe! So we can do this real quick. We can do this real quick.
My.
I think there's a cellar at the top of this. So let's quickly do that and then we'll jump back down and see what else we have.
Do you have any plans post-stream, or are you sticking around?
I got stuff. I got plans.
Oh. Oh. Darn.
Okay, we have to switch shields.
Run, Forrest, run! Run, Forrest, run!
Really now? He's gonna be that dude.
No waste of time doing it, but I wanted to go and just definitely get completely Kakariko Village completely thoroughly done. No, I don't want to talk to you. Go away. You talking about a song? I don't know. Weird. I think he wants me to sing him a lullaby. Sing me to sleep. Sing me to sleep.
Okay, there's that. And we can't do that. Now we can net some profit here.
What about? Yep, there's Nabe. Nabe. Nabe.
Because I believe I can do that.
Nabe. I got a key. Nope, I froze. Dampy, damn you!
Dampy didn't know. Dampy thought it was a key
Dampy
too.
Dampy is like, oh, that's a key. Touch it. Everything.
Anything for you, Dampy.
Damn you, Dampy. Okay. Alright, I did everything here, so I can go. We opened up Death Mountain, I think. So let me go and see.
Okay.
Yeah, I can go get that. I can start working my way up to Death Mountain, I guess. No, I don't really want to do.
What do you want to do?
I'm not telling you.
I'll tell you what I want to do.
I know what you want to do. I got 10 minutes to knock out what I got to do.
What I want to do.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
What do I want to do?
I don't know. What do you want to do? I wish my laptop wasn't bogged down because of OBS, though. I mean, that's annoying.
Well, guess who can get a better laptop?
I can. Like, I really need to. My thing is, if I'm getting a new laptop, I'm going all out. I'm not going to just get another standard, just in theory upgrade.
Yes, that does work. Awesome.
Thinking maybe an Alienware. I don't think there was a
Alienware?
Uh-huh.
You must got some viewers.
No, but I got money. And except I'm upgrading, you know, it's one of those I'm gonna end up going all out if I actually tend to upgrade in that fashion.
There we go. That was really weird. But it saved me. Hello. There we go. Gosh.
I can't remember what was over here. Let's go find out. I really hate that that's the overworld theme for me.
Chest!
Hyrule seems
Chest!
the same for
Chest!
adult and kid, right? What'd you get?
I don't know. I don't think so.
What did you get?
A bag of sorts. A bigger bomb bag.
There.
A bigger bomb bag.
Really? You found the bigger bomb bag, huh?
Mm-hmm. Now I got 30 bombs.
You're a winner.
Even though it'd been much nicer to get sticks.
Give me bombs. That's just fine. I can't do anything with this one, so I get.
I think I know this one. Yep.
Good.
I have to do a couple of tricks
I
here.
found a bigger bag.
Pour that out. And then I think I need to pour this one. There we go.
I think I got the Ganon boss fights for my
Mm-hmm.
Gerudo theme.
That's at least in character.
And we need to go do.
Did it. I honestly don't know if that's the proper way of doing it, but it works.
No! 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 Cause you're no!
You okay?
It tricked me. It got me good. It got me good. The ice got me good. Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Well. Stupid chicken.
You were all excited?
Not really, because it wasn't something that I needed, but it'd have been nice to just go ahead and get it out of the way. But because it ended up being
Really
ice, it
now?
ended up making my life a little bit harder than I needed it to be.
Link chose to jump incorrectly. Mm-hmm.
That's what happened to me. In theory.
There we go. Good Link.
Because I was trying to save myself time. I could have saved myself like 2 or 3 minutes by doing it the other way, but I guess I just have to just do this a freaking long way now. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-dah.
I think I was trying to waste all my time and effort. Let's see if I... Pretty sure it resets. Yeah.
Alright, we're at the 5-minute mark. Like, in about another minute or two, I'll be ready to stop early, depending on what checkpoint you're at, and if you want to stop early.
I mean, really, no matter where I stop here, I'm gonna return right where I need to be.
Well, I don't know if you're like in the middle of like a boss section or a checkpoint section where it doesn't really ultimately matter or not.
No, I just have to move some things around.
Well, at least let you finish it, I think, whatever room you're in.
Oh, that doesn't help me any.
Well, I still got another minute or two anyway.
Hello, are you okay?
This last part.
Am I okay? I don't know. Black and White, am I okay?
I don't know, are you okay?
Oh, I know what you're referencing. No, I was not okay. I was in a very bad position in this game.
I know what you're referencing.
If you know what I'm referencing, I would be amazed.
Wish I had that boomerang. Wish I had that boomerang.
There we go. That's dead.
Come here, you stupid chicken.
That's dead. Gosh.
I wish I could have turned the chicken sounds into the Navi sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen! Like, oh my god, Navi keeps buddies with the chicken!
This chicken isn't gonna help me win.
I'm going to risk it for the biscuit. Risk it for the biscuit! I suck so
That's bad, that's bad, that's bad.
There.
There we go. I'm gonna have no sticks at the end of this.
That means that'll be done. And that leaves me doing 2 sections left, and then I'll be done with all that.
Woo!
In theory.
Killed that one.
Woohoo! Heart piece for the win!
That was not the smartest plan. There we go. It's okay, Link. Some of us don't have those good days.
Mama always said there'll be days like this.
Hot. Hot.
Well, you wanna sell me some magic beans? Mine. Well, I guess this is where I'll be ending my stream because it doesn't really matter where I go from here. I can't go anywhere in a minute and a half.
I'm gonna quickly try to do this room as I remember how to do it. If bats don't kill me beforehand. Don't you
Hello,
kill me,
cow.
bats.
And the cow goes moo. I talked to the cow and the Garuda was like, it won't open. What are we referencing here? It won't open.
Okay. There we go. Then turn.
I guess if you're gonna do that, I'll try if I can get one thing done before we get off. Oh my goodness!
But that's a heart piece I desperately needed.
No! You don't deserve the heart pieces! You're not worthy! You're not worthy!
Right. Stinking little bugger. I might kill him before. Let me run back here. I'm gonna have to just do this all in one solid run. We got this, we got this, we got this. up, over. Direct hit,
I guess that
beautiful.
makes sense. I guess that's where I'll pick up next time. That makes perfect sense. Hello, Zara.
I've opened that,
what was
but
that? That's awkward.
What?
Weird.
What?
The it looks like the bottle and Zora's leg has been replaced with one of those singing frogs.
Oh, I bet it's the frog for the medicine mission.
Could be, or it could be ice. Could be ice.
Could be both.
My gut tells me it's ice.
Okay.
Because it makes a ribbit sound. I don't know, I can't remember if that made a sound or not.
So I did that all the way through. So I only have a couple more places to go on here. I don't think I could do that. Could I? No. Okay. So I'm on, I just need to do the lower level next time and then complete it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to leave when you are.
So am I.
Bye-bye for now, everyone.
Bye-bye. Until next time.